Welcome to a Galaxy Man Show interview show. So for my very last guest of today is this incredible singer and songwriter known by the name of Hevmmusic. So I'm about to add Hev into the live now to have a chat with Hev about her incredible music. So yeah, let's add Hev in and have a chat with Hev. Hi Hev, how's it going? Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join my show, Hev. It's such a pleasure having you on the show today. To people that don't know who you are, Hev, if you can give like a bit of backstory about who you are and what you do, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Okay, I'm a singer-songwriter and I make short and funny songs as well as like some ballads. And yeah, I've been writing for a while and I just like to share music and try and make people happy. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll dive right into the questions now, Hev. So for my very first question, so you've created incredible numerous songs. So for the very first song, you've created a song called Do You Ever Think of a Bulbfish? What was it like coming up with the idea of creating this song, and what's the meaning behind this one?
I just have like a weird brain. So like I'll think of random things and I'll be like, why not put this in a song? So when I created this song, it was really funny because it literally just came into my brain. I was like, I need to just do this because I find this really hilarious. And it was really funny because the feedback I got back is people were like, why do I actually like this? I was like, okay, that's good then. But yeah, that's pretty much, the process was quite easy. I just tried to write from a place in my brain.
So on to our next question. So you've also created a song called I Don't Want to Be a Beauty Queen. What was it like coming up with the idea of creating this song, and what's the meaning behind this one?
The I Don't Want to Be a Beauty Queen is like, I feel like girls especially, and males, that younger males, like kind of demographic, we have a lot of comparison problems. And I used to look at Instagram a lot as a platform to see what's the worst in me and everything, which is really weird. So it got to a point where I was like, this isn't right. I need to tell myself that like this isn't right. So when I was writing the song, I was kind of writing it from myself to myself, and it translated really well to other people, which I think just shows it's a growing kind of problem with people constantly comparing themselves. But yeah, it was really nice to write because I think although I'd compare myself to someone and be like, oh, they're better than me, I could look at them and be like, actually, I have attributes of myself that is just as good as them, and I need to not try and live in someone's shadow, if that makes sense. But yeah.
So also our next question. So you've also created a song called Where Do I Begin? What was it like coming up with the idea of creating this song, and what's the meaning behind this one?
So Where Do I Begin was, so I'm moving away because I'm going to drama school. So it was kind of a song and a dig at myself, being like, you need to stop trying to put things off. And yeah, I use music a lot to kind of distract myself and explain myself and my processes. So it was a song that I felt like I could just really dive deep into. Okay, I know that I'm putting off that I'm moving away, so I need to stop putting that off now. Like, this is ridiculous, that kind of thing. But yeah.
So on to our next question. So you also created a song called Fickle Sadness. What was it like coming up with the idea of creating Fickle Sadness, and what's the meaning behind this one?
Fickle Sadness was, so I'd wrote the song a few years ago, and then I looked back at it and I was like, wow, I was in a very strange place. So I was like, okay, I'm going to rewrite this from where I think I was now and what the outcome was. And when I wrote it originally, I saw it as kind of a weakness because I was being so raw about the mental struggles I've had and everything. So I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this. But then in the end, when I put it out, a lot of people I got loads of messages about that song, and they were like, I'm so glad there's a song out there that pinpoints how I feel. So that was great, because I really like to make people relate to something and feel something.
So on to our very next question. So you've also created a song called Release. What was it like coming with the idea of creating Release, and what's the meaning behind this one?
So it was finally realizing my flaws and accepting my flaws, and not being afraid to be like, okay, you're a human being and you have these flaws, and someone that you love can probably see these flaws that you are trying to ignore. And it's kind of that thing of, when you have flaws, you can try and misshape them and try and make them worse than they are or better than they are, but everyone's going to have flaws, so you need to just kind of release from that and try and just get on with life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So on to our very next question. So what made you decide as a person, and especially as an artist standpoint, that you wanted to get into music in the first place?
So my mum and dad had a lot of interesting music choices when I was a child, and it rubbed off on me very well. I mean, I was the only 6-year-old asking Take That to be on my MP3 and Queen. It was literally like, it was like a wake-up call. As soon as I listened to music, I knew it's something that is interesting. And I've always had a weird ear for music. Like, someone can listen to a song and be like, that's nice. I will listen to every intricacy and be like, wow, okay, they went up a semitone there, that was great. Like, it was really weird. My brain's like just wired itself so towards music. So yeah, and at the time, because I've got high functioning autism, I could never express myself. So music and songwriting as a whole was something that actually really helped me express myself. So, yeah.
I actually love how you mentioned you have autism, because I've got autism also.
Hey.
So yeah, awesome. So on to our very next question. So who would be your all-time favorite inspirational person or music artist in the industry that influenced you to get into the music scene?
Oh, that's really hard. That's so hard. I think there's a lot of people. I mean, when I was growing up, I was listening to Whitney Houston and those kind of divas, and then I'd be listening to David Bowie and the Beatles. So I've always had a mix of genres. So in my music now, I can recognise sometimes those styles will just flood into each other, which I love, because I feel like that's really exciting to try and add new styles and everything.
That's awesome. So on to our very next question. So what does performing music mean to you, especially as a music artist?
It just it's opened up a whole new part of me, and it's weird because I don't want to sound like a loner, but music is always the thing I can go back to. If anything happens, I can always go back to that, and it's kind of like a comfort blanket, but it's also a thing that I can connect with people with. So it's very beautiful, because I just love that I can have such a good relationship with music, and then when I'm performing, it just feels really exhilarating, because I get to just feel like my true version of myself. So yeah.
So on to our very next question. So if you could work with any top 3 music artists in the music industry, who would they be and why?
Okay, top 3. Okay, at the moment, I'm saying at the moment because I know this will change in a month. At the moment, it goes Orla Gartland, who's a British artist who I love so much. So it goes Orla Gartland, and then I would say, I think Dodie. It's always a solid one. because she's really got such a great way with music. And then I would say also Phoebe Bridgers. She has this song called Motion Sickness, and it's just beautiful. Like I like that is one of my favorite songs of all time. So yeah.
So on to our very next question. So what have you learned about yourself as a person and especially as an artist, like during COVID?
I've learned that I'm actually much more resilient than I thought I was, because when lockdown hit, because change is such a ever growing thing with this whole thing, I was at one point I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to carry on with music and do all this. It's like too stressful and everything. And then I just got to a place where I was like, actually, this is the best thing ever, because I get to just be by myself and songwrite, like, and actually get into my head and clear my head. And I think I've learnt to appreciate little things, which is something that's really nice, I think. But yeah.
So that's my very next question. So what are like the positive and negatives into creating your own music, and how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
I think something everyone will say is I work very closely with a producer and this band that I help, like sometimes with songs. They're called King Komodo, please check them out, and Toy Box Studios. And something that they will all say to you is I'm my worst critic. And because I make music myself, it's like we were literally recording something today, which I can't speak about yet. But we're recording something today, and I just kept going, that's bad, start again. And they'll be like, your take is fine, you need to stop. Like, it's absolutely fine. And because I'm so hard on myself, I think that's one of the hardest things. And I think people to take you seriously as an independent artist is something that's really challenging, because what's good and bad about social media is it's made it so easy to be like, here's my music post. But when you're doing that, it's kind of like people don't see you seriously because they're like, everyone else can post music, so why are you special, that kind of thing. So it's finding that balance. But yeah.
So on to my very last question. So what's like next for you, like music wise, for the rest of 2021 that you would like to like announce on the show?
Oh, okay. I have an upcoming single coming out, which I'm very excited about. And I wrote this, and I just straight away was like, this is one of my favourite songs I've written. And I think I'm working on a lot of projects. I'm hoping to do a like live show kind of concert thing so I can access to more people. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm just trying to do as much as I can with music and see where it takes me. But yeah.
So I just want to say first up, thank you so much for taking the time to join my show. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show, Hev. To people that haven't seen Hev's music, definitely go support Hev. She has such an incredible and bright future ahead of herself. Do you have like any last final thoughts that you'd like to say to people on the show?
I just want to say thank you for giving people and independent artists this platform, because it's really lovely. And yeah, thank you so much for the interview and everything.
You're welcome.